Well, good afternoon and welcome to today's thought. Well, okay, I'll just say it. It's hot and it's dry. We're in the dog days of August in late June in Kansas. Sometimes during this time of the year, a cool front will come through and drop the temperature a few degrees for a day or so. But then the heat dome builds up again and we're right back into the hot soup. We've also received tantalizing hints of rain most days, but most days that rain doesn't get to where we are. The main source of water for the city of Wichita and most of Sedgwick County is Cheney Lake, but it's getting lower and lower as the rains mostly miss the area in Kansas that drain into the lake. We may well be receiving more water restrictions than what we now voluntarily are before too much longer. We're well below conservation pool now at the lake, and it doesn't look like it's going to get much better anytime soon. Of course, we could be in other parts of the Midwest where there's way too much water. Rivers and streams are out of their banks, dams are in danger of collapse, homes and businesses are flooded. Now, I don't know if you've been in a flooding situation or not, but as you might imagine, it's just a mess. Trash, mud, general destruction is all around. The water's polluted. It's not fit for people to be messing with or to even be in. The cleanup is hazardous. It's time consuming. Most insurance policies won't cover flooding, and flood insurance can be out of reach financially for many. As I said, it's just a mess. I sometimes wonder if having to choose between flooding and tornado hitting my home, I might just choose the tornado rather than the flood. Of course, the heat outside is largely mitigated for many of us who have air conditioners in our homes, our offices, and our vehicles. The cost of having and using that air conditioning is not minimal, and there are many who cannot afford it. And then there are those who are unhoused. They're out in the elements whether they want to be or not. Yes, there are public buildings where they can congregate, and yes, there are some, I repeat, some shelter beds for men, women, and families, but there aren't nearly enough to house everyone. Many make do by being in the shade, finding water, electrolytes in various places, and just doing without. It's not easy being outside in this kind of weather, and just as it is when it is extremely cold outside, the heat also takes its toll on the weak and the sick. People become ill, and some don't make it to the next day. Well, so what does all of this have to do with the Thursday thought for this week? Well, just this. Earlier today, Curtis, our lead minister, and I had a prayer time. During this time, we try to do this every week, and during this time we sometimes think of those in our congregation or our blood families who are hurting or in some kind of need. Maybe a friend is in need of some sort. Sometimes we talk about our respective work at the church. However, our main topic of conversation this time was the incredible blessings that each of our families experience each and every day. We talked about the fact that we have enough, and we have more than enough. We thought about times when we meet and interact with those who may well not have enough, who may be alone, who may be unhoused or perhaps without transportation. We talked some about a man who came into the office yesterday afternoon. He didn't ask for anything like food or water, but he just wanted to be given the dignity of being heard. He was a scruffy-looking individual. His appearance was years beyond his actual age, and by his own admission, he was a gay man. It was very evident that his life had not been easy. According to him, he had been turned away from some other churches that same day, and he ended up here in our office. We let him in, pouring out his soul. We had no ready answers for him, but we validated his self-worth as a human by listening. Curtis prayed over him. We gave him some water, and he went on his way, at least having been afforded a dignified hearing by someone who genuinely cared. Well, I don't know what your lot in life is right now. You may be in the arms of a comfortable existence, or you may be in some kind of great need. You may be the picture of health, or you may be battling some kind of dreaded illness. We're all in different stages of life and living, but regardless of our circumstances, the two greatest commands that have ever been given are still in force. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. On these two hinge all that is good, right, and beautiful in life. Blessings.